Hello my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl, coming at you with another pick a card reading. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. I do things differently here on this channel, so with that being said, if the message does resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. Triggering statements may arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing today, and I'm so honored to be here sharing it with you. Let's go ahead and hop into our prayer today. Also, the reading we are doing today is Why Do People Fall For You? So I felt like this would just be a fun one. I've been doing some really deep readings lately, and so it's time to just do a fun one. And you know, like I said, I try to mix it up and have different types of readings on here, so that way then we are looking at ourselves as a whole, right? So my beloved source, this prayer is for anyone and everyone who comes onto this channel, whether it's for a moment's time or for the entire time. I ask that you bless everyone with love, with light, with truth, with guidance, with honor, and with hope. Sometimes we don't see ourselves through very loving eyes, or we feel like maybe we've lost that connection to ourselves, or that we don't deserve what it is that we're receiving in our lives. And this feeling, it has a tendency to overwhelm us and disconnect us from seeing the truth of our soul, which is that we are innately abundant and we are innately unconditional love at our core. And so today I ask that you help unveil those truths about us and help remind us that we are beautiful people. No matter where we've come from, or what we've done with our lives or our backgrounds, whatever it is, that no matter what we've done or said or acted upon in our lives, that we're still worthy of unconditional love. That we are still worthy of being seen through our eyes of unconditional love. That we are still worthy of being heard and understood, and even if others aren't giving that to us, that we have the power to give that to ourselves. And while it's fun to look into how other people see us, and while it's fun to know how other people think about us, that truly, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is how we see and how we think about ourselves. So today I ask that you open up that door of opportunity for us to really lean in, honor and respect ourselves as we're moving forward, and know that no matter what's been said, what will be said, or what has been oppressed on our journey, that we have the strength to overcome it, and that we are more than capable of doing so. As these words are spoken onto this reading and upon this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho ase. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to be using the Heavenly Bodies Astrology by Lily Ashwell. Such a great deck. I highly recommend. This is such a beautiful, beautiful deck. I work with it all the time. In fact, I think I bring it out on every reading. That's how much I love this deck. So yeah, let's find out. Why do people fall for you? What oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today? Why do people fall for you? Source, what would you like to share with us? Why do people fall for you? Okay, thank you. Why do people fall for you? Okay, pile one. Why do people fall for you? What oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today, source? Pile one. Why do people fall for you? I feel like it's that one right there. Thank you. All right, pile number two. Why do people fall for you? What card is going to help us better understand this message today, source, for pile number two? Why do people fall for you? That one right there. Thank you, source. All right, pile number three. Why do people fall for you? Source, what oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today? Why do people fall for you? All right, and on the bottom of the deck, ooh, we've got the 10th house. Structure, discipline, life, mission, accomplishments, and careers. Why do people fall for you? You are very goal oriented. As a collective, you're striving for something in your life and you're doing everything within your power to move towards it. You're even facing things that you thought you would never face or you thought were impossible to overcome, and somehow, some way, shape, or form, like, you're overcoming them step by step. It's one foot in front of the other. Whatever it is that you're doing, you found your purpose, right? Like, you are pouring into your life mission. I feel like whether that is your career or whether that's something you're doing on the side, like, you are making space and time for something that you were meant to do in this lifetime. And that is why people fall for you, because you're very authentic and you've chosen to follow your dreams. Not everybody does that, right? Because it's scary and it's overwhelming and there's so many unknowns and what ifs. I have the hiccups. And you're not letting that stop you. Even though there may be days when you slow down or when those feelings do become very overwhelming and you're like, I don't know, I can't move on, I'm just ready to throw in the towel. Like, no matter what, you still keep moving forward. Even if you're inching forward, you're still making strides forward. And it's so funny. One step for one person can be miles for another person. And I feel like that's what you're doing. You're just taking one step at a time. But to so many other people, they're falling for you because they feel like you're taking miles. You're taking leaps and strides ahead on the journey, and you've left them all in the dust. And there's a lot of not just like falling for you, but there's a lot of being inspired by you, and there's a lot of admiration for you as well as a collective. And I feel like that definitely drives that feeling of falling for you. It's like, oh my gosh, I really wish that I could be with them because I want some of that energy for myself. Maybe if I was around them all the time, that would rub off on me and I would be able to go the distance too. But you're disciplined, and discipline and consistency, right, are the two things that give us success in life. It's like when we find consistency with our journey and we let our discipline carry us, even if we're motivated or not, the discipline is already set in motion. So it's like, these are the actions that I take. So you could have months where you don't feel motivated, but you're still showing up because it's become a discipline, right? And that's why I feel like so many people look at discipline as such a bad thing. Like, they have such a negative belief system around discipline, but discipline is something that can open up a world of opportunities to us if we take it. And that's why I feel like people fall for you, because you're opening those doors of opportunity by trusting that the discipline is going to take you the distance, right? I can go the distance, I can find my way. Okay, Hercules. Yeah. So somebody here is really goofy. But I feel like that's why people fall for you as a collective. It's a really powerful message, and really awesome too, because you're living your dream. Even if it might not be everything that you imagined it would be, you're still living your dream. And that speaks volumes to who you want to be seen as in this realm. Now I have that song stuck in my head. I can go the distance. Okay. All right. So for pile number 1, we do have this dice with the North Node on it. So funny that we got the 10th house for the collective reading, right? We have the North Node came out for 2 of the dice. Or we have this beautiful bloodstone for you to choose from. Pile number 2, we have this dice with Saturn on it. Or we have this beautiful moonstone for you to choose from. And pile number 3, we have this dice with the North Node on it. Or we have this red jasper for you to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the one for you, and I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the North Node on it, or perhaps you were drawn to this bloodstone gemstone, or maybe you were called to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on why do people fall for you. And we're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. I do things differently here on this channel, so with that being said, if the message does resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Triggering statements may arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing today, and I'm honored to be here spending it with you. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, why do people fall for you, pile 1? Why do people fall for you, pile 1? Source, what would you like to share with us today? Why do people fall for you, pile 1? So we've got the 12th house, we've got Mars energy, and we have Taurus. You are someone who's very grounded in taking spiritual action. I also feel like you serve others, you help others. You're someone who's very kind and generous and loving and compassionate. You're also driven by your intuition, like I'm getting the star child energy here. Like you might resonate with star children or being a starseed, but you see the world and you see everybody deserves this love and this kindness and compassion. And you go out of your way to give that to others, and you go out of your way to make sure that others feel welcome. And it's not at the cost of yourself. I feel like you've had to learn that though. So that's something where maybe you had people-pleasing tendencies in the past, but now you give love because you're driven to do so. Like you're driven into action by love. And giving others this space to be seen as this whole being. And you might hear my AC turn on and off, so it's a pretty warm day today. But this is something that I feel like why people are falling in love with you is because even if they've never met you before, like, they feel seen by you. They feel heard by you, and they feel like you're a very trustworthy person. Like you're very honest and you have a lot of integrity, and that you're loyal. Like at the end of the day, like they could be a friend with you, and if they gave all into being a friend with you, that they would have a friend for life. I feel like so many people falling in love with you are actually just people who you're meeting in very fleeting situations, right? It's not something that's necessarily permanent. It's not something that's necessarily happening all the time. And through that, it's like people are imprinted on by you. So you leave an imprint on their hearts, and you leave an imprint on their life, and they may go home and share the story about the stranger they met, and it's the story about meeting you. Like, oh my gosh, I met pile 1 today, and I told them a part of my story, and they gave me this beautiful advice, and they made me feel so good about myself, and I left with a big smile on my face, and I left feeling supported in a way that I maybe never felt before. And I'm just so glad I got to meet them. I wish I'd gotten their name. I wish I had gotten their number, but I will always remember that encounter. And I feel like you have a lot of people who admire you. And so if they run into you at the store again, they may seek you out. Like you may find people at the store who, hey, didn't we talk last week? And they're like, yeah, you remembered? Cool. Like that's awesome. Or, you know, at the grocery store, at the clothing store, this could be at a convenience store, at the gas station, right? It's just out and about, it feels like. And I feel like people who know you also see this about you. They see you giving, and they see you loving others, and they see you being so kind to others and offering this support. And it's a very grounded type of love. Like it's just who you are, right? And it's not I'm giving love so I can get something. You never ask for anything in return. And I feel like that has been a blessing and a curse for you, because I feel like it's a blessing because there are people who are willing to return that, but also a curse because you've had to deal with people who are very aggressive and coveting that energy, and that's something that you've had to face. And why Mars is here is because you've had to take that action into being assertive for yourself. And so that's what's coming through right away, though. I do feel like you're very etherical. When people meet you, it's like you're in this world, but you're not of the world. So that's why I was getting, like, maybe you resonate with starseed, being a starseed. You don't have to. You could resonate with being like an indigo child or something like that. But I feel like you're just very different from how people are in general, and you're one of a kind, and that's why people fall in love with you. So let's see if we can get some more energy out on it with the tarot. I'm going to be using my Tarot Marseille deck today. Why do people fall for you, pile one? Source, what would you like to share with us today? Why do people fall for you, pile one? Okay, thank you. Why do people fall for you? Yeah, they feel like they could build something with you, that you would help them overcome any discrepancies or any fears or any worries and doubts. Why do people fall for you? Why do people fall for you? Interesting. You are a very attractive person too. So you have the looks and the heart. Why do people fall for you? Oh. Yeah, okay, so we've got the 9 of Cups, and then we're going to use that clarifying by the 2 of Coins. On the bottom, the Fool in the reverse. And don't freak out about the reversals here, because I do feel like this is just confirming what I was feeling with the dice, okay? Especially with the Fool in the reverse here. It's like, it's a blessing and a curse that you don't ask for anything. The blessing being that you also receive love, and it's not you looking for the exact same type of love back. Anything is beautiful, right? Like if people go out of their way and they're helping you, or they maybe gift you something, or, you know, they thought about you and got you a card, or, you know, whatever it is. I just feel like that's such a blessing itself. But also showing with the Fool in the reverse here that there's a lot of people who've taken advantage of you. And I feel like why people fall in love with you is because you also pick out the fools, if you will, right? You pick out the people who are trying to use words to manipulate you, and you pick that out, and you still aren't someone who's gonna cut them off at the knees. Like, you're someone who is seeing them for who they are, and you set a very solid boundary. You're not driven by the illusions of love. You're not driven by the illusions of acceptance, because you accept and love yourself. And you're very grounded in that and willing to accept life as it comes in turn, right? There's no controlling life here. But I also feel like people see you as a trophy at times, pile one, and this is why people fall in love with you. It's like this feeling, if I could get pile one and have them as a trophy to hang on my wall, like that would be an ultimate life experience for me. And that could be sexually, that could be just, you know, having a relationship with you. But I do feel like there's a lot of people who they feel like they could have whatever they want with you, and then they could just leave you, but you would be fine. And I feel like there's a lot of people who fall in love with you because they believe that you're inhuman in some way, shape, or form. Like, life doesn't affect you the way that it affects others. But that's not true, is it? In fact, I feel like life affects you more than it does others, but you've gotten so good at putting a smile on your face and not showing the world how hurt you are, that others take that for granted and think that you don't get affected by the things that they do. And that's why they fall for you. It's just like, oh, well, I could just dump, right? I could just emotionally dump all this stuff onto pile one, and they're going to take it, transmute it, and they're not going to be bothered by it. But that's not at all the case. And then there are others who are just grateful that they've had someone to talk to, and they hope that they've given you the same. But I do feel like the main thing here is that why people fall in love with you is because you are an incredibly beautiful person. You're incredibly handsome. You're very good looking. You're very beautiful, gorgeous, very good skin. You have, you know, maybe bedroom eyes. And I don't like using that term because that's very, to me, it feels very manipulative. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's really cute, you know, having bedroom eyes, but it's kind of gotten a negative connotation to it because it's saying like, oh, you have eyes that I'd only want to see in the bedroom. So it's kind of like, it's itemizing you. It's making you feel like a thing, an object, objectifying. There we go. The right word was there. It was somewhere. It's more like objectifying you, but I do feel like you have really beautiful eyes. Like your eye color is very unique, or you just have a very uniquely shaped eye. Like I feel like that's something that people have mentioned a lot in your life is your eyes and what they look like. I also feel like you have very unique lips too. So like you could have like really big lips, or you could have really full lips, or like you have a really big bottom lip, and so it kind of looks like you're always pouting all the time, but you're not. Like that's just the way your lips fall. It's kind of like a pout, but it's really attractive. It's almost like an innocence, and it's very cute. And so there's this innocence about you that people want to destroy, and at the same time it's like they also want to preserve it. And I feel like you've just dealt with a lot of people who've expected you to put them on a pedestal, and so it's really hard for you to trust and to love others that way. But I do feel like regardless of your trust for others, you are coming from a place of compassion for others. And that's why people are falling for you. I feel like people want that for themselves. Yeah, there just feels like this is something they want to own, they want to hold for themselves. Like they just want it in their lives. They don't want to share it with others. They don't want to give it to others. But for you, you know that it's all about being of service to others, and you're giving healing energy every time you go somewhere. And so you could have had some really jealous lovers in your life, like jealous of you being, you know, outgoing, or jealous of the fact that maybe when you're out and about, people just naturally approach you. It's like you could be just standing in line somewhere and suddenly someone walks up to you and starts talking to you like you've known them your whole life. And you could have had exes that were like, what the heck, you know, like why is this happening? And you're like, whoa, I did not instigate. I don't even know who that person is, but they didn't see it that way. And I feel like it's because you are an entire package. Not only do you look good on the outside, but you have this beautiful heart. And it's like people think that that's something that they have to, and I get that energy, covet. It's something I have to covet. I have to keep close to me. I can't share this with anyone else, but you're a free spirit and you're meant to be shared with others. And I feel like that's another reason why people fall in love with you, is because they can't really pin you down, especially now. Like it feels like you've gone through a lot of healing and a lot of transformation. And through that, you are learning how to really rely on yourself through life. And that can be a really good thing, but it can also be a really bad thing. You know, because we forget to ask for help from others, and you deserve to have help from others as well. But I just feel like you haven't had a person in your life that has been willing or able to give help to you the way that you need. And so I feel like people fall in love with you because you're that support system for them, and they don't feel like they have to return that. So there's a lot of takers in your life, and you're a giver. But I do feel like that's what people fall in love with. I also feel like people fall in love with that you're so easygoing. Like, you know, you're kind of just like, whatever life brings, I'm cool with it, you know? And I feel like that sometimes can be really frustrating because people aren't necessarily considerate of you when it comes to that. Yeah, child eternal coming out here. Determining to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. So again, pointing at the eyes, but this ability to see things with fresh eyes. Like, you always have solutions to everybody. You're very bright light too, like very sunny and fun, and you have a beautiful laugh, or very contagious laugh, right? This is why people fall for you. The shadow is inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. Yeah, so people immediately want to become dependent on you, like they want to drag you into codependent situations. And I feel like you've had to shut yourself off from a lot of situations because of that type of energy. On the bottom, we have priest, facilitates spiritual commitment, serves as a channel for spiritual energy. Yeah, you're incredibly spiritual, very intuitive. And the shadow is violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So I do feel like other people want to keep this ability that you have to themselves. It's like if they were to, you know, gain your trust, that you would somehow pass that off onto them. You know, when people like try to take your life from you, this is so weird, but you see that, like, people are trying to steal your thunder, they're trying to steal your life, or they're trying to steal your ideas. It's like, I feel like people fall for you because they feel like they could steal your spiritual power. Like, it would rub off on them and then you wouldn't have it, but they would. And it's kind of a weird thing here. But I feel like most people fall for you because they just want to control you. And it's not, like, here's the thing, like, this isn't supposed to be negative, right? And I feel like it's just something that you've experienced a lot of, and that's what's coming through. It's like there's a lot of people who see you as someone to control, and that's not at all what you are. And I feel like sometimes you may wonder to yourself, like, are there people out there who appreciate me as I am? And there are, but I feel like the problem is that you're like, it's like a moth to the flame, and you're the flame, and you're getting all these really like negative people who are coming through, like wanting to own you. And you're not someone to be owned, and you have a beautiful heart, you have a beautiful aura about you, and you're very good looking. And it's like being a whole package in a world that is so superficial, it's almost overwhelming to people. It's like, oh my gosh, they actually exist. Yeah, it's pile one. But pile one is still a person with feelings, emotions, and desires in their life. And I feel like you can't even express the whole of yourself because you don't really have people in your life that support you that way, and that's frustrating as well, right? So we have canary spirit, sing your own song. Yeah, you're very unique. You could be a musician, you could sing, you could have a very beautiful voice as well, just in general, like a talking voice. Like if you're masculine, it's very deep, a very deep and a resonant voice. And if you're a woman or feminine, you could have a very high and soft voice. There's two that are coming in, or a very like sultry type voice. You know, it's kind of maybe like deep and like hello, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's something about your voice. That's what people fall in love with. They fall in love with your voice. Yeah, sometimes life stings. Yeah, okay. So this is what I was saying. Like, I feel like a lot of people want to own you, and you get tired of it. And I feel like you cut yourself off from the world. I actually feel like you force yourself into solitary confinement, because it's like, I'm just so done with people and the way that they're treating me. And I'm so done with them saying like, oh, you know, like, you're mine, or that I own you. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if you've had exes that said, I own you, you're mine, you're no one else's. Like, that, I don't care if you're in a relationship, that is obsessive and that is controlling. That is absolutely absurd. No one owns another person. We don't live in the time and age when that's a thing. And thank goodness that that is not a thing, because that should have never been a thing. And yeah, it's just really frustrating. Yeah, we have release with Jaguar coming out here. You've had to let go of so much. And I feel like you've had to let go of a lot of people too, because this energy. But you're just an amazing, and I want you to know that, Paula, Nick, you're an amazing person. You have so much to offer. And people fall for you, but I feel like people fall for you thinking that they're going to get something out of it, and they're not your people, right? The people that are falling for you that way, they're not your people. Okay. On the bottom, yeah, moderation, rhinoceros. And I feel like this is just that reminder, like, it's okay for you to close yourself off from the world, but everything in moderation. Too much of anything can be a bad thing, even isolation. So it's going to be really difficult for you to connect with your people if you're always hiding, right? And that's what Source is saying here. So let's see what else. Honesty. Yeah, you're a very honest person too. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. And I feel like you give truths in a very kind way too, very compassionate. It's like, even if it's a difficult truth, like you still give it in a very kind way. Yeah, health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. So there's something about your body. And, you know, you don't have to be a size 2 or anything like that. Like, you might not even be super stoked about your body, right? I just feel like what you see is all the flaws, but what everyone else sees is all your curves. And it's easy for us to judge ourselves very harshly in the body that we have. But it's like you actually check a lot of boxes for a lot of people, and so they really like your body. Conjunction. Stop, collaborate, and listen. This is what I was feeling. It's like they feel like they could build something with you. But again, not realizing that you guys may be on different paths, right? So that listening is a two-way road. It's not just I listen to everything that's going on with you and you don't pay attention to me. Like, we need to be in this together. But I feel like you get left in the dust sometimes because people they don't, you know, they're not like, oh, it's like, oh, pile 1, they'll get over it. No one would want to hear that from someone else, right? Like, if you said that to them, they would probably be so butthurt. Like, oh, how could you pile 1? But that's how they're treating you, and that's not fair, right? That's a very unfair situation. Yeah, comply. Rules, laws, unwritten rules, yeah. So, like, that's the thing, like, okay, you don't follow the rules, they're complying, but they want you to comply. Like, they want you to change the way you do things and comply to them. But also not realizing that all those things that make you unique are because you're not complacent, right? You're not trying to be like everybody else. And that's something that it would go away if you were to comply, or if you were to try to mold yourself into their idea of who you should be. Interesting. I never know how these readings are going to go. So we're going to, last quarter moon, tying up loose ends. So I do feel like this is something that you are walking away from, and Source just wants to bring that message to you. Like, you might not have gotten this message from anywhere else, but I feel like that's what Source is saying here. It's like, this is something that you're walking away from, but it is about honoring the shadow. And recognizing that, you know, this is something that's happened to me, but it doesn't have to be the truth of my experience, and it doesn't have to be the truth of who I am. It's just something I've gone through, right? I don't have to identify with it. Jealousy. Okay, yeah. So a lot of, again, possessiveness, competitiveness, dependence, paranoia. There's a lot of people who are jealous of you. And that's why this is coming through. Interesting that this would come out. Like, there are a lot of people, and they've fallen, like, that's the thing. You could say, well, how are they in love with me if they're jealous of me? Because deep down, they've fallen in love with you, and they don't realize that they've fallen in love with you, and so they're letting their emotions get the best of them, right? And so they're overwhelmed by these feelings, and they're coming from this place of, you know, jealousy and control. It's a place of fear. Like, how could I love pile number 1? It's a place of fear, but you're the embodiment of love. And so you're reminding people of the love that lays dormant within all of us, that we're all inherent to, and they're struggling. They're struggling to find that themselves. And so instead of letting you be the person you are, it's like, oh, if I can just put them in a bottle and keep them to myself, then I'll be fine. But it's because you're in this place of peace, harmony, order, calmness, and serenity. Like, that's why people fall in love with you. You're an embodiment of peace, right? You remind us of home. And that's a powerful thing, because it's like we're all looking for that place where we belong, and people belong when they're with you, because you're not trying to judge people, or you're not casting people out because they're different. Like, everybody has a place with you. Everybody feels like they belong with you, and that's why people fall in love with you. So let's take a look at your card. I'm going to read this from the book. We have Cancer. I'm not surprised that Cancer energy is here. You feel like home, and Cancers are all about their homes. Like, that's it. They want everybody to stay together. They want everybody to have a place, you know? They don't like it when the home's all broken up, or when people are struggling with each other. Cancers, you know, I will give it to Cancers, even though you guys are not the best at And what is it? Peacemaking. You do try with every bone in your body. You will try your best to make sure that everybody's at harmony and peace. But you need a Libra in your life, Cancer, so that you can actually have someone to back you up with that. And I just want to point that out. It's not that you're incapable of it. It's just that Cancers are so deep and emotional. I've been around so many Cancers in my life. I love Cancers. They're just incredible people. They will give the shirt off their back if you're suffering. And I've never met a more giving person than a Cancer. And it doesn't matter, like men and women alike and whatever you identify with, non-binary, all of that, you know, just the Cancer in general is just such an incredible person. And I'm so glad that we get to experience life with them. And especially those that are in their light energy. It's just so powerful. But, you know, they want so badly for things to stay together that's when they turn into the little crabby crabs that they can be, which I also have fun with the crabby crab part of Cancer too. And so, you know, that's just, you know, don't mess with my family or you're going to get, you know, clawed, I guess. Is that the right word for it? Sure. Cancer is a sensitive energy with a deep interior life. It is emotional and receptive, tied to the past and memories. In these warm, caring tribal waters are family-oriented beings who are tender-hearted and protective. Yes, very much so. Moon-ruled, this divine mother energy gives and requires gentle nurturing. And that's the thing, like you need to nurture to be... You need to be nurtured in order to thrive. And it doesn't matter what your zodiac sign is. Like you just need to be nurtured in order to thrive because of the type of energy that you possess. It says these intuitive creatures feel all energy swimming around them. It can be overwhelming not knowing where their own feelings end and another's begin. Because of their extreme sensitivity, they often build an external shell, making them hard on the outside and soft on the inside. And like the sideways walking crab to which they're linked, they're often indirect in feeling and communication. That's why it's hard for Cancer to find harmony or to, you know, try to balance out really difficult situations because their emotions are guiding them. It says Cancer's sentimental warmth can go too far and become clingy. They don't always separate then and now, they and you. They prioritize home and family above all else and may ignore individual needs, their own or those of others, in an effort to keep the clan together. But when balanced, this is a loving cocoon of energy, bringing warmth and comfort wherever they go. Yeah, you're like a safe haven, and that's why people fall for you. So your energetics are sensitivity, protection, comfort, family, tribe, nostalgia, and emotion. Your experiences are nurturing self and others. Your shadow is overprotective, clingy, indirect, and inconsistent. Whilst what makes you feel safe and cared for? Journey inward and listen to your needs as you would a child you love very much. Free write in your journal, giving voice to your child within. Deeper than wants and wishes, at the root of the root, what is it you cry for? What are you feeling empty? Or where are you feeling empty? Sacred. Wow, I'm going to try that again. Where are you feeling empty, scared, powerless, or deprived? Consider ways to nurture and provide for your inner child and develop a focused, daily self-care practice. Becoming your own mother means becoming your own healer. And that's really powerful for you too, Pile 1, just remembering like you are your own healer. But even when things get difficult, you don't have to become a shut-in. Okay, like you can absolutely still be out in society and giving your love and just remembering to let it roll off your hard back, right? Like you got your little shell on, whatever people do and however they act, let it roll off. That's not for you to carry. And there are going to be people who are jealous, who are trying to covet your energy or trying to put you into a box and not share you with the world. This could even be family that's coming in here who they're all in love with you, but they just want to keep you to themselves. And remember that you're a free spirit, and I feel like you thrive when you're allowed to be free. So find ways to give that freedom to yourself, okay? So this is what I see here for you. You're very beautiful, amazing energy, and I hope you celebrate that about yourself, Pile 1. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little crab emoji down below and say, I walk my way through life, giving love, nurturing others, and knowing that I'm allowed to be the free spirit that I am. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message today. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with Saturn on it, or perhaps you were called to this moonstone, or maybe you were called to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on why do people fall for you. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. I do things differently here on this channel, so with that being said, if the message does resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. There may be triggering statements that do arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, and remember that triggers can be a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm honored to be here sharing it with you. So we're going to go ahead and hop to it and find out why do people fall for you, pile 2. And I just ask that you keep an open mind. Pile 1 was unique, and so I'm just asking you keep an open mind as we go into this. Why do people fall for you, pile number 2? Why do people fall for you? Okay, so we've got the 12th house, we have Leo energy, and we have Uranus. You are a different kind of person. People fall for you because you're very confident. You're very empathic. You tap into how people are feeling, what they're seeing, what they're doing. You read between the lines. You're incredibly friendly. You're outgoing when you want to be. I feel like for many of you, it's when you want to be. It may not be your constant state, but I do feel like you're very outgoing, easy to talk to. You have a lot of unique and quirky ideas. You are unique and quirky yourself, so you could dress very quirky or uniquely or differently. Like you may mix a lot of styles together that people would be like, oh, I wouldn't think that that could go together, but it totally works. It wouldn't surprise me if some of you like to wear mismatched socks a lot, or like you just don't like folding socks, and so you throw all your socks into a basket somewhere, or you just throw them into the drawer and whatever 2 come out, that's the 2 you're going to wear. I don't know why that's coming through, but it is. But you own it, right? Like I feel like you own it, and those are the things that like people, they love about you. They're like, oh, that's really cool about pile number 2. You can be really flirty when you want to be. I also feel like you can be very serious when you want to be as well, or when you need to be. But you are also someone that people get addicted to very easily as well. Like you're an escape for a lot of people. An escape from reality, escape from themselves is what I'm hearing. You have very unique facial features as well. Very exotic looking. Or like you could look foreign from where you live at. You could look foreign. You don't have to be, but you might have very foreign features compared to where you live at. And people notice that right away. Or maybe there's like not a lot of diversity where you live at, and you could be someone who brings that diversity. And so immediately people fall in love with you because you're different, you're unique, and you stand out, and they like that about you. I do feel like people have this energy where they feel like you always know what they're thinking, and you say things that are on their mind like as if you stole it right out of their mouth, and they feel like you understand them and that you see them, and because of that they're falling in love with you. And so there's a lot of admiration here for you, pile number 2. Some of you could have Leo highly aspect in your chart. Leo sun, moon, rising, Venus, Leo in the 12th house, Leo in the 11th house, and Leo in the 6th house is coming in. And Leos are the center of attention. Like, they really are, right? And that's just part of being Leo. I mean, you're ruled by the sun, so you're just going to be the center of attention. But I feel like even if you don't have Leo highly aspect in your chart, like you are very much the center of attention wherever you go. People are just naturally drawn to your energy. They're naturally drawn to you. And people fall in love with you because it feels like you're not afraid to experience any aspect of life. You could be someone who loves differently than other people too. Like, you're very detached from people and you're not looking for, I just heard settlements or compromises, or you don't want to settle in any kind of situation, and so you don't. But I also feel like you're very vocal about it. So, like, if you're not looking for love and people come up to you and they're like, hey, I want to be in a relationship with you. You're like, sorry, that's just not me. Like, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. And people think it's like non-committal, but you're not. Like, you just know that you don't want those things. And it doesn't have to be those specific things. It could be anything. But I just feel like that's something about you. You just know what you want and you know who you are in life, and you're not afraid to share that with people. And that's why people fall in love with you. Why do people fall in love with you? Pile number 2. We're going to be using my Tarot Marseille today. Thank you. So if reversals come out, please don't worry about the reversals. Why do people fall in love with you? Pile number 2. Yeah, you are very good looking. Very, very beautiful person. Very handsome. Why do people fall in love with you? It's a very physical thing sometimes. I also feel like people have lost their tongue when they've tried to talk to you. You know, like they get tongue-tied, or like they come up to you and they're like, pile 2, yeah. It's because you're such a good-looking person. It's almost like they're starstruck, right, by you. Yeah, people fall in love with you because they feel like you're impulsively living life. Like, you're very spontaneous. And, you know, it's like nothing really ties you down. And you're just kind of like always on the go, and you're always doing cool things. Like, you could be a rock climber that's coming in here. You could be someone who goes and you climb, you know, rock faces all over, and you could travel a lot. You could just totally pack up a bag and just travel to wherever without any prior notice. And people are like, how do you do that? And you're like, cause that's the life I live. Like, I'm not going to be tied down, okay? And it doesn't even have to be that. Like, maybe you change jobs a lot because you just get really bored with your job, and you find jobs really easy. You're like, I don't have to worry about it, and so I just move around a lot. Or, you know, like, you're building something that's very unorthodox. You know, it could be a spiritual business. It could be a unique business that's giving to others. It could be just something where you're creating, you know, very creative, selling paintings or something, or you made something very unique. Like, soap is coming in. You're a soap maker. Cool. Yeah, you are not afraid of change. Like, that's the thing. Like, you don't let uncertainty hold you back, right? Like, the unknown. So many people are held back by the unknown, and that's not something you're just like, cool, like, bring it on, you know, I'll face it when it comes. You're, instead of worrying about the what ifs, you're just like, when it happens, then I'll deal with it. But I'm not going to sit here and try and map out every little thing that's going to happen to me in the future, trying to figure out all those little things, because that just creates a lot of worry. And I feel like that's you. You just don't worry about a lot of things, and that's why people fall for you. And you're not afraid of change. You change on the reg. You're just constantly changing like that, always on the move. And that's something that people are really, really drawn to. But of course, it's like when things change, like if you're with somebody and things change like that, like they're afraid of that change, but you're not. You just embrace it. And so you're impossible to pin down. There's no pinning you down. Like, there's no like, oh, pile 2 is gonna be mine for life. Like, for you, you're like, no, haha, you thought so, but guess what? This is what's really happening. Bye. I just feel like you would not surprise me if you do the Irish goodbye. That's been coming out so much in some of these readings. Like, lately, you just the Irish goodbye, where you just bunk out and you don't say anything to people, and then people are like, hey, where did pile 2 go? And everyone's like, I don't know, where's pile 2? And then they might call you and be like, man, I left like 3 hours ago. You guys are just now figuring that I'm gone? Get out of Dodge, I'm already partying again. And you're not even bothered by it, the fact that they waited so long to call or whatever. Like, you're unbothered by it. Most people be like, I'm hurt, why didn't you call me? And you're like, whatever, I'm on to the next best thing. Later. You live life. You're very spontaneous. People might call you impulsive, unruly, right? but you're not. Like, you just know what you want. You might have Sagittarius in your chart, highly aspect as well. Sagittarians, or also Aquarius energy. So you could have like Aquarius rising and Sagittarius sun, maybe a Leo moon. Yeah, that would make for a wild ride, or any kind of combination of that. That's a wild ride, let me tell you. But fun, a lot of fun too, right? You can talk to anybody, you can hold a conversation about anything. I mean, like, you just have an abundance of knowledge that you would love to share with people, and that you oftentimes do share with people. And if you don't know, like, you're really good at BSing your way through. And I feel like you're so confident that people might not realize that you might be BSing your way through. And for others, it's like you don't. Like, you're willing to learn about it. And so you say, I don't know, tell me all you know about it. And then you go and pass that on again to someone else. You might have Mercury and Gemini. I feel like it's just so unorthodox. The way that you live your life feels very unorthodox. Like, you could be a traveler. You could be someone who lives like in an RV, or you live like in your van, or you are constantly moving cities. You're constantly on the go. I really feel like you live life very differently than what people expect life to be lived as. And you don't always have to be on the move or anything like that. It could just be the way you present yourself in the world, right? Like, maybe you're used to maybe you like to do temp jobs, right? Like, you like to go to events and get jobs at those events that they have, so that way you can go and experience the concerts or experience the festivals that come into town. And that's something you absolutely love to do, and it gives you enough to get there. You experience it while you're there, and then you might get a discount on tickets, and so you go and experience it on the tickets, and you're always driving to all these events all over. Or you could, have a job where you travel a lot, or you just travel because that's what you want to do. Like, traveling is coming up a lot here. I feel like you've had to defend to a lot of people how you live your life too, and that can be really frustrating. And you've learned that there's no sense in defending it because people don't understand what it is that you're doing. Yeah, child nature, friendship with animals, communication with nature spirits. Yeah, you're very free spirit. You could have been called a fairy, like actual, like literal living fairy by people, or maybe you like to dress as fairies, or you like to communicate with fairies. Like, that could be something that's coming through here. The shadow attributes is tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. I feel like you could be someone that really has a green thumb, or you like to take care of a lot of different animals, or maybe you're, one of those people who drives adopted animals all over to their new homes, and you inspect their new homes or something like that. Yeah, the rebel. Yeah, this is very clear energy here, right? Challenges authority to affect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. The shadows rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. Like, you're helping people question the system, because this is how you live, and everything works for you. Like, it's not, like, most people are like, how does that work? And you're like, because I make it work. Like, I'm trying to make it work. I'm not worried about every little thing. Like, you make sure your bills are paid. You make sure you have food on the table. Like, you're not tripping or stressing about what everybody else is stressing about. That's just not who you are. That's why people fall for you, because it's just unique. It's like, the day-to-day worries aren't something that you burden, because you're like, it'll get taken care of. I don't know how, but it'll get taken care of. You can manifest a lot too. Yeah, think on your feet. Yeah, you are on the go. I feel like you're incredibly intelligent, smart. You have some really incredible problem-solving skills too, that you're constantly putting to good use to live your life, and that's something that people really admire. I feel like that's why people fall in love with you. They fall for you because of that. They're like, whoa, pile 2 could solve all my problems, and you're like, that's not my job. You got to figure it out. That's totally something you would say, isn't it? Yeah, this soul with butterfly. Yeah, you are living your best life. You are living the good life. And it's not without its challenges. You're just very in touch with your soul and with who you are. Like, you're like a nomad, a wanderer. What is that called? Geocaching? Maybe you do something like that too, or like you you know, host events or you do like marathons or something. I just feel like you're very in touch with yourself and who you want to be. And that's why people fall for you. Why do people fall for you, pile 2? Yeah, forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. I feel like you've had a lot of difficult times in your life, but I feel like you've freely forgiven. You know, you've come to this place where it's like, it's not even worth holding on to anymore. It's just not. It's not worth holding on to the anger. Like, I just want to live life. I have one life to live, and I'm not going to live it being bogged down by resentment, hurt, and pain. I'm just going to go. And that could also be why you're so detached now, too, is because you've been hurt so many times. Like, you just had to learn how to be in love with yourself and let that be enough. And that's why people fall for you. Like, you're really in love with yourself, and that's a powerful place. That's a huge power play in the world as it is now, right? Because most people are struggling. They just want to be accepted by everyone else. And for you, you're like, no, I'm in love with myself. I'm cool. I like who I am, right? I'm not trying to be someone else. I'm not trying to have someone else come up in here either. Like, I just want to live my life. 6th house, get real with responsibilities. This is that energy. Something about your routine. So it's like, I feel like people have tried to tell you, like, you're not responsible enough, or like, you need to get real about life, but you've made it work for some reason. And because you're just not trying to stress about all that stuff that everyone else is stressing about. Like, people pay their bills today and they have all their bills paid. They're already starting to stress about bills next month. For you, you're like, my bills are paid. I'm just going to worry about living. That's it. I just want to worry about living right now. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. But when people are like, what the heck? You need to get real with your responsibilities. You're like, I am. I take care of stuff. I take care of what I need to take care of. I don't ask you for help, do I? So, and people, that's why they're falling for you, because it's like you remind them that life is meant to be lived. Why do people fall for you, pile 2? Oh, yeah. Look at this. I cannot make this stuff up. We have process, the journey, growth, path, and experiences. You're here to have experiences, and you do. And I feel like you live that. Look at this, though. Look at the planes here in the airport with the suitcase. Like, there's something about travel that keeps coming in. We have give up the previous plan, release old patterns, embrace change, and clear the way forward, or for renewal. Yeah, so there's something here where it's like you are constantly changing. Like, there's something about your life that's constantly changing, where everybody's living in such a small world. You're experiencing the greater world. Loneliness. Look at this. Emptiness, depression, wandering in the gap period. So I feel like people are thinking that you're lonely because you don't have, you know, love in your life. Or like, if people are like, I want to marry you, or I want to go out with you, and you're like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not into those conventional relationships. Because that's what it feels like here. People are like, well, you're lonely. And you're like, I'm anything but lonely. And then they're surprised, and then they fall even more in love with you, right? Like, you're like, oh my gosh, I really want pile number 2. I've really got to have pile number 2. And, you know, you're living it up. Yeah, nothing is wasted. You see everything as opportunity. You see everything as an ability to gain something from it, experience. I feel like the main thing for you is freedom and experience. Like, if there were 2 words that could describe you as a person, it's freedom and experience. Those are the 2 things that are coming through on this reading so profoundly. Yeah, intuition with Kat. Yeah, you're very, very intuitive. You're very connected to who you are. Like, you also are tapped into how other people are feeling too. But I also feel like you realize, like, I can't carry that. That's such a burden to carry. I just can't carry that anymore. And it's maybe at one point you did. Like, that was something you were worried about, how everybody perceived you or how people thought about you. And that's just not something that you carry anymore. You're like, nope. Yeah, very imaginative. You are very creative, right? I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. You live life in a very creative way too, like almost like an artist. That's what it feels like. You're living the artist's life, and that's why people fall for you, because you're like an artist. You're an embodiment of the artist. Yeah, Neptune, get lost in the lavender haze. You live with your head in the clouds, and people are kind of like worried about you at times, but then at the same time, it's like, we don't really need to worry about pile 2 because pile 2 is making it work, right? I do feel like you live life in the unknown, and that's something that people really love because that's something that reminds us of our true nature. We're meant to live life in the unknown. And everybody's so worried about having the known. Like I said, it's like they paid their bills today. All their bills are already taken care of. They got money for food. They got money for entertainment. They got money left over. And they're still tripping about how they're going to pay the bills next month. Like, it's wild. It's wild how much worry and stress bogs us down from truly living life, you know, and they won't go and experience life because they're so worried about what's happening next month. But next month isn't here. Right now is here. And that's what it's like. You're living in the here and the now. You come from a very present place, and people really love that about you. That's why they fall for you. So let's take a look at this card. I'm going to read this one from the book. We've got Libra. I'm not surprised. We have Libra with consideration, fairness, and harmony. But this is a very strict kind of Libra energy coming in, because it's like you want that for yourself. You want to be considered. You want fairness in your life. And more than anything, you want balance, peace, and harmony. And so what does that mean to you? I feel like you've asked yourself this question many, many times, and you've gone out of your way to find that for yourself. So you could have Libra highly aspect in your chart. You don't have to. But I do feel like that balance is something that's, you know, it's you lived life on the edge because maybe for a portion of your life you lived it living in a box, and now it's just trying to balance that out, and that's why you're so free-spirited. It says, like an energetic balancing scale, Libra is always weighing things out and considering the options. Being Venus ruled, its need for harmony creates a love of beauty, for favoring traditional laws like proportion and symmetry. Libra is sensitive to its surroundings and not only seeking aesthetic pleasure, but peace, balance, justice, and fairness. These people explore themselves through relationship. It could be interpersonal or the relationship to the outside world. They use their discernments and connections to give themselves shape, making them natural in partnerships and dutiful friends. Disliking chaos and arguments, they are caring listeners and judicious problem solvers. Yeah, your problem solving skills. That was something that came through too. It says, in excess, this thoughtful energy leads one down the garden path. Lost in consideration, indecisiveness, and paralyzed by choice, Libra is not indecisive by nature, but it's an easy consequence of its quest for balance, as nothing is perfect in the physical realm. So your energetics are beauty, justice, and fairness. Experiences are peace and balance, partnership, and consideration. The shadow is indecisive or flimsy sense of self. It says, imagine a house where each room represents a significant part of your life. These rooms include, but are not limited to, self-care, work, passion, relationships, and exploration. Walk into each room, noticing how it feels. Which ones are vibrant, flooded in light? Do any feel dark, dusty, or empty? Are any outdated or in need of organization? Consider what you give each room and what it gives you in return. Your guides want every room to be somewhere you love spending time, where the energy you give matches the energy you receive. They want your house as a whole to feel balanced, supportive, and inspiring, and your life as a whole to be a true reflection of your soul. And we got the soul card on the bottom of the animal deck, and that's true. It's like your life is a reflection of your soul. You're living that. You're living proof that going towards your dreams and your wants and your desires, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be even expensive. It can just be taking one step and making it come true by trusting in the process. And this energy of imagining a house, I feel like you've done that before. It's like you've looked at every aspect of your life. You know, am I working to live or am I living to work? And I feel like, am I surviving or am I living? And these are things that you've asked yourself. And whatever answer you came to, that's been how you've changed and molded your life. And it reflects on you as a whole because you're really, really in this place of being a vibrant soul and experiencing what life has to offer. And this is why people fall for you, because you are the embodiment of what it is that we're meant to experience in this realm. So really, really excited. I'm honored I got to do this for you today. So this is what I see here for you today, pile number 2. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little scales emoji down below and say, by finding the perfect balance, or by finding the imperfect balance and choosing to live from my soul, I am able to experience freedom. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything in the description box. So I'd like to take a moment and thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this truly powerful message today. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this dice with the North Node on it, or perhaps you were called to this red jasper, or maybe you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be a reading on why do people fall for you. We're all here sharing this human experience together, and this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. I do things differently here on this channel, so with that being said, if the message does resonate, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. Triggering statements may arise on the readings themselves. There's no obligation to force it to fit, while keeping in mind that triggers are a beautiful blueprint for us to deepen our healing journey. Your time and your energy are a true gift and a blessing, and I'm honored to be here sharing it with you today. So with that, let's go ahead and hop to it and get into this reading. I do just ask that you keep an open mind as we're going into it, because both 1 and 2 were really different, and I never know exactly where these readings are going to go. So have an open mind and an open heart, and we'll see what comes out for you, okay? Why do people fall for you, pile 3? Source, what would you like to share with us today? Why do people fall for you, pile number 3? Why do people fall for you? Okay, I feel like you're somebody who tells a really great story. You'd be a really good writer, or just someone who, you know, is really good at sharing past experiences or adventures, or recounting like different things that you have learned about, you know, like you read a book, you're really good at telling about what you learned in the book and inspiring people to go and buy it and to read it. Something about being a storyteller here, okay? Interesting. We've got the 6th house, we've got Capricorn energy and the moon. You take really good care of your health, and this is why people fall for you. You inspire others to take care of themselves, and I feel like you're incredibly disciplined. And if you haven't, you might get additional messages from the collective message, which is timestamped in the description box below, if you feel called to. No obligation. But yeah, you take really good care of your health, and you're very disciplined, very consistent with your journey. And I feel like you also, like, if you miss a workout or if you miss something that is part of your self-love journey, like, you feel it emotionally and your emotions reflect that as well. And so it's really important for you to maintain discipline and consistency along your journey so that you can always maintain a level head. And I feel like people fall for you because you are always calm, centered, and collected in anything and everything that you do. Very rarely do you have outbursts or extreme moments where like anger or jealousy or overwhelm get the best of you. You know, whatever it is, you just very calm and collected. You show up in any circumstance with a very clear mind of who you are. I feel like even when there's difficulties and challenges, you're able to show up and discern what's going to be the best course of action for yourself. You may even be someone who gives advice to others. So you could be in, you know, mental health industry or the health industry. You could be someone that just naturally assists others. I'm seeing like in a retirement home here. You could be somebody that volunteers, something along those lines. But I do feel like you naturally love to assist other people and help inspire them to find their courage in their own life, to take those steps that are necessary for them to make a change for themselves, knowing that it's not easy. It's like you're a big cheerleader for people. You could also be a life coach or a health coach, like a health fitness coach. You don't have to be. These are just examples that are coming in. But I do feel like you are just really making sure that your mind, body, your soul, and your physical vessel, like everything together, is all sound and very, very well nurtured and taken care of. And that's something that shows. And it also shows in the way that you approach people. You always leave space for people to be who they are. And that is something that I feel like people fall for you because they don't feel like you hold any expectations over them, that they can just be as they are in that moment. Like you're not demanding them to be something else. And as odd as it sounds, like that's actually a very rare thing when so many people expect us to fit into their idea of who we should be, right? I do feel like people fall in love with the version of you that they've painted in their head, and oftentimes they don't get to know the real you. So I do feel like you're not incredibly open with a lot of people, not because you don't want to be, but because just a lot of people don't take the time to get to know you. And so you're mysterious. And I feel like you tell a lot of similar stories to people. These are not lies or anything like that. They're literally just stories. They're like stories about your life, things that you've done, things that you've overcome, whatever it is. And I feel like those are things that people know about you, but that's not really the whole of who you are, right? Those are just things that had happened to you along the way. And so not very many people actually know you the way that you know others. Why do people fall for you, pile 3? Yeah, you're really good at navigating life's up and downs, and you're not afraid of it either. You're not afraid of the challenge. I feel like you welcome the challenge. Danger? I laugh in the face of danger. Ha 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 ha. Okay, Lion King. Simba. Yeah, I feel like that's just it. Like, you're just like, bring it on. Why do people fall for you? On the bottom, we've got the Knight of Coins in the reverse. And don't worry about the reversals, right? This is interesting. I feel like people also fall in love with the idea that you have money to spend on them, on yourself, A lot of shallow energy. That's really shallow coming in, but it is something that's coming in. You look rich, or you give off this air of having wealth about you, and you could just be wealthy in spirit, right? Again, you're taking care of your mind, body, and your spirit, so you're wealthy in mind, body, and spirit, and that is something that people equate to physical wealth. And you could have physical wealth, but I just feel like a lot of people just think that you're someone who has a lot to your name, and they fall for you because of that. They're like, oh, pile 3 could take care of me. Pile 3 could make sure that I never had to struggle again in life. And I feel like you've had a lot of people put responsibility on you that wasn't yours to hold. Yeah. Why do people fall for you? Yeah, they just feel like you could make their lives a lot easier. And this is a very shallow, and I feel like this is something coming in, and I will always say this, regardless of the questions that I ask, Source is going to take the reading where Source wants to go. Okay, I'm a channeled, so I have to channel the energy as it comes in. I have to channel what I'm feeling because that's the way it's going to go. And so I always say, it's like, even though we're asking a direct question, you might want to get something that's like, oh, I need that little ego boost today or something to make me feel better. If you need to hear a message, that's what Source is going to bring through. It's not always about what we want. It's about what we need. And that's how tarot works. That's just how it works. And I have plenty of experiences on my own that have been that way. And so I just want to point this out for you, pile 3, because I feel like that's the thing. It's like Source just wants to clarify something that you've been feeling intuitively. It's like, I feel like there's this weight that's been on your shoulders for a long time where it's like, I just feel like people only keep me around because of what I have to offer, what they think I have to offer. That they're not really truly going out of their way to get to know the real me. In fact, I feel like you've noticed that not a lot of people ask you deep, intimate questions. Like, it's like, if you ask a deep, intimate question, they might return that question like, oh, well, what about you? But it's not like them going out of their way to like truly ask these questions about you. And it's like, if you stop asking those questions, then that's where they stop at, right? Like, it never gets any deeper than that. And I feel like you've been surrounded by a lot of negative people, a lot of really energetically heavy people, a lot of people who've been shrouded in fear and anxiety. And there's this feeling, it's like, well, you're the one that's going to save me. You're the person who's going to help me out of the darkness. You're the person that's going to bring me up out of the trenches. And I feel like people cling on to you because of that. And they fall for you because they feel like you're their knight in shining armor. And your gender, what you identify with, that doesn't matter here. That's just kind of the label that they've put on you, is like, pile 3 is the knight in shining armor. Like, they're going to take care of everything for me. They're going to make sure that it works out for me. They're going to make sure that I don't have to work extra hard in order to solve XYZ. And I feel like that's something that has given you, like, again, like, I laugh in the face of danger. Part of that comes from that. It's like, you've always been relied on by everyone else, but never have had someone to rely on yourself. And you've become that rock in your own life. And I feel like you've had to walk away from a lot of people here. Yeah, you've had to walk away from a lot of people. You've had to learn how to take accountability for your emotions and your own well-being here, because you've had a lot of manipulators in your life, right? And maybe at one point, I feel like you wanted people to accept you, wanted people to see you. But then things started to level out and you're like, why? For what purpose? When it feels like I'm the only one that's helping others. And this could be physically. I mean, we got a lot of coins energy here, but this could also be emotionally. This could be mentally. You know, I feel like you're taking care of your body as a whole. And so a lot of people are coming into your life expecting you to take care of them as a whole. And they fell for you because they figured that you would always be the one that saved them from themselves. And I feel like this is a chapter that's actually ending in your life that Source wants to point out here. So there's no reason to be fearful of this any longer. That continuing to live and take care of yourself and to love and cherish yourself will actually bring brand new experiences into your life. Now, I'm going to do something for you I didn't do for anyone else. I'm going to get some clarifiers because I feel like we need to. Yeah, so we've got the Fool flipping out of the deck right away. I mean, just flipped out. This is a new beginning for you, and Source wants to point out, like, yes, you've been feeling this. You've been feeling that people expect you to take care of them. You've been feeling this energy where it's like you've had to save people even from themselves, from spiritual disaster, from mental disaster, even physical disaster. And it's not something that you're imagining. This is something you're very clear about. Okay, so we've got, yeah, the Devil. People taking advantage of you. They're obsessing over what you have to offer them. And you've become incredibly strong because of it. And now you're moving into a situation where there's somebody here or a group of people that are coming in that are going to lift you up. And that's what Source wants to say here. But people fall for you. And I feel like the thing here is that remembering that you're a beautiful person, no matter what. Okay, like, this isn't about your looks or anything. It's just that you are a stable person. And that's such a rarity in life, Pile 3. And that's what's something that really stands out about you is stability here. Very grounded. You could have Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo highly aspect in your chart. You don't have to, but that is what's coming in. And I also feel like the thing here is that people want you to be the stability in their life because they don't know what stability is. And so they're chasing after something that they themselves are not willing to give. And that's why they're falling for you, because it's like, oh, I want that loyalty. I want that stability. I want that foundational connection. But then when you show up and obviously your energy is going to demand them to meet you at that level, or otherwise don't meet me at all. People are trying to manipulate that to work out for their favor, and it's not working out well for them. And so what Source is saying here is that we've got you. You've created a very grounded and rooted self. And through that, we're connecting you with people who are going to fall in love with you because of who you are, because of what you've done to heal yourself and what you've let go of, not what you have to offer, not what you can do for them. Like, there's people that are coming for you, Pile 3, that are going to ask you about you. Like, they want to get to know you. Who are you? What makes you tick? What makes you excited, right? Yeah, and this is like this is going to be fresh and new, and it's also going to be really frightening for you because there's going to be this feeling of like, well, what if they do the same thing that all these past situations have done, but they're not going to, and that's what Source is saying here. Very interesting that this would come in for your reading. I feel like people just want to have the experiences that you have, right? They want to experience life the way that you've experienced it, and that's not something that's ever gonna, right? Like, that's just not how it works. And they're saying here, like, I feel like you've had to burn a lot of bridges because of that. Why do people fall for you, pile 3? Okay, you're gonna get these two on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, see, I said this at the beginning. Look at this storyteller. I can't. We have the ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols, and the shadow is making up tales that harm others. Yeah, I feel like people think that you're lying, but you're not. And then when you like show them proof of the things that you've experienced in life, or where you've gone, or what you've had and seen and done, and you're just this well-rounded person that people immediately are attracted to. And again, this doesn't have to do with your looks. It's about how you see the world around you, but also how well versed you are in life and experiences and matters in life. And so you could travel a lot. You might have resonated with one of the other piles. And if you did watch all 3 piles, leave a purple heart down below. That's part of my Purple Heart Club. But with that, you know, it's like, oh, I wish that I had those same experiences. So if I hold pile 3 close to me, if I entrap them, like, entrapment's been a weird common denominator across the reading today. So I do feel like there's a lot of cycles that are closing right now. The people trying to trap the collective into certain situations because they don't want to let go, you know. But I do feel like you've dealt with that a lot, and I do feel like this is Source saying, like, this is coming to an end. But why people fall for you is because you're so strong, because you're so grounded, because you're so rooted, because you're so free. And because you know who you are. These are things that people fall in love with you, and they want that for themselves, but you're moving away from that chapter in your life where you're coming into where people see you and they want to get to know you. It's not even about falling for you. It's like, I see you, pile 3. I want to know who you are. Yeah, sometimes life stings. Yeah, this, so again, confirming that, like, this has been a really difficult chapter in your life. So maybe you came here so that you could feel better about yourself, right? Like, I want to feel better. It's just been really difficult. It's been really hard to stay positive. It's been really hard to just move forward because it feels like, you know, no matter where I go, like, no one wants to connect with me, or it feels like they don't even care to get to know me. They're just only concerned about themselves, or they're only concerned about what I can give them. I just don't feel like people see me. And it's almost like you've lost a lot of hope in life because of that, but you're still working on taking care of yourself. And the thing is the higher that you climb, the more you're going to leave people behind. And that's because not everybody is on the same journey as you. It doesn't mean that there aren't people out there who are taking that journey. It just means that it's not as common as you'd think to have a lot of people on this journey. I wish I could say everybody's on the self-healing journey, but even people here, it's like they're, you know, you're going to run into people who are really focused on the healing, who are really focused on the untangling the threads that society and life has created in our lives. And there's a lot of people who are very much just kind of coasting by. It's like, yeah, I dabble here and there, but I feel like you jumped in head first. Like, you just were like, I got to change myself. I got to change my life. And that's another thing. It's like, you've changed so much. You're not the person you once were. And I feel like people are falling for that version of yourself, the older version of yourself, because they were able to manipulate you. And so when they're seeing you now, they're seeing that you've changed, but they still believe that they can manipulate you. And then when they can't, they're like, well, what the heck? What's your problem? And you're like, my problem? Excuse me? So you're a very strong person. And I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit for that. And we have Peacock with prosperity. Yeah, they see you as someone who has a lot of wealth or has the ability to take care of things for people. Yeah, Raven News. I feel like this is Source saying, like, don't worry about it. We're going to send you people that get you on your journey. Like, you're not going to have to travel the whole journey alone. That's not something that's in your cards. Like, it's in your cards to have a soul tribe, for sure. It's been a long and lonely road. Why do people fall for you, pile 3? Yeah, purpose. I know what I'm here to do. You have this bright light because you know exactly who you are. You don't question who you are anymore. Like, I feel like you spent a lot of time questioning who you were because people treated you this way or treated you really, shady. And now you don't question that anymore. Look at this. We got Malefics came out with Beware of Challenges. Yeah. Part of your journey has just been a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. It's like Source isn't even worried about, telling you what people are falling for. It's just like Source is trying to show you, like, I've heard your prayers. I've heard your cries for help. I've heard your want to move on beyond this difficult situation, and I'm doing my best to meet you. And it's just taking longer than what it feels like it should, because, we have an idea in our minds. Like, it should be 1 year, it should be 6 months, or it should be a week or whatever. And that's just not how it works out, right? Fix, keep on keeping on. Source saying you're running the distance, right? You're going the distance here, which is why I suggested you should also check out the collective message in the beginning, because there might be some additional messages for you there for sure, if you feel called to. But it is timestamped down below. I know I already said that. There's another message that came out that you might resonate with from that as well. I mean, you're incredibly disciplined. You're incredibly consistent. That stability is rare. And that's why people fall for you. Why do people fall for you, pile 3? Source, what more would you like to say? Why do people fall for you, pile 3? Yeah, cooperation came out, flipped over. Acceptance, listening, teamwork, win-win. Like, you want everybody to have a good time. You want everybody to feel successful. You want everybody to win. And so at times I feel like you've compromised yourself in order for others to win. And you also accept others, right? You listen well. I feel like you don't talk a lot. That's why I feel like people just kind of like come over to you and expect you to take care of them. And so you do a lot of listening. I feel like you don't necessarily want to. Like, it's not a bad thing. I just laugh because it's like, I just really get this emotion, like, where I'm just exhausted. I'm so damn tired of listening. Like, that's what it feels like. And again, I'm not trying to curse, but it's just what came out. Like, I'm just really tired of it. I'm tired of listening to people's problems. I'm tired of trying to solve people's problems. Like, when is somebody going to come in and try and help me with my problems? Why does everybody else need me? Like, what would happen if I wasn't in their life? Who would they go to then? And why can't they go bother that person? Like, there's a lot of exasperated energy here for you, pile 3. Yeah, chat. Exchange of information. Look at this. Disclose information and inquire. A lot of people give you their stuff. Like, they just lay it out on you. And it's almost like they're trying to make you feel pity for them or sympathy. It's like, oh, if I tell pile 3 all my problems, then pile 3 is going to come forward and they're going to, again, my knight in shining armor, they're going to save me from myself. And you're over there like, boo. Pull yourself together and do what the rest of us do and save yourself, because I'm not coming and I'm not going to try and come, because that's just not what I am. So, you could have gotten some kind of inheritance as well. That's coming in. So it's like people are expecting you to, pay up with the inheritance, or you had something that came through. Like, maybe you got a really big bonus from work or something along those lines. Like, something that you worked for. It's something that you earned. It's something that was rightfully yours. And everybody wants to dip their hands into the cookie jar. And that's why they're like, and so again, it's not necessarily falling for you. It's just that's the energy that's been around you recently. Yeah, you're a very pure energy. Like angel, helping those in need with no expectation of in return. And the shadow is acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. So I do feel like you get a lot of false claims from people, but I do feel like you're just a genuine person. Like, you're just like, man, I just wish people would see me. Like, what's the problem with just seeing me? And it's just that there's a lot of people that have been around you that have held expectations over you that you didn't need. And so you're changing your life, especially with Alchemist here. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. And the shadow is misuse of power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. You're alchemizing your life. So you're about to step into a new chapter is what Source is saying. Yeah, sing your own song. Yeah, you could have definitely resonated with another pile. Okay, so you're different, right? You're learning how to express yourself in this moment as you are. Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And I feel like part of this is like loving yourself is the most important thing right now, pile 3. The source wants you to really love yourself, trust yourself, and pour into yourself, because that's the only thing that you need. Like, you've given so much away. It's time for you to give that back to yourself, which can feel selfish and it can feel odd, but in giving back to yourself, you're going to feel a lot better. Yeah, this came out in another pile too. Comply, rules, laws, unwritten rules. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself with arms wide open. What is it? Treat yourself. Anyways, live your life with arms wide open. Today is player book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Right? So that's it. No one can live your life for you, pile 3. And these people are trying to live your life. That includes your money. That includes your prosperity. That includes your wisdom. That includes everything that you have. No one can live that for you. Okay? Your life is unwritten, and you get to choose to show up how you want. There's a lot of people who are trying to put their problems on you like as if it was yours to carry, and that was not it. And I feel like the reason Source went off book here with the question is because maybe you wouldn't have clicked on a reading that this was actually about this, right? And that's okay. That happens, right? We get what we need when it comes in. And that's what I feel here. It's like Source is just trying to remind you that you're a beautiful person. You have so much love to give. You're very prosperous. But people are falling in love with the wrong thing. Okay? And that's not anything that you ever deserved. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be understood. You deserve to be loved and cherished. And first, right now, the main thing is doing that for yourself. But there's a new chapter that's coming into your life where people are going to start appreciating you for you. So let's take a look at this card. I'm going to read this from the book. Yeah, we've got Mercury. Think, learn, network, and communicate. Changing who you're networking with and who you're communicating with. And I feel like that's a big part of this process for you. It's honoring that there's always going to be people out there who take advantage or want to try to take advantage, but realizing that like you don't have to change the whole of yourself just because people are like that, right? But that can be really hard. Saturn, Jupiter, Mercury. Okay. The energy of Mercury is embodied in ancient mythology by Hermes, delivery man to the gods, right? So there's a message coming. A speedy messenger between physical and spiritual worlds. And like a nimble god, Mercury delivers ideas and inspiration from the airy ethers to Earth's creatures, linking it to the senses as the receptors through which you receive information. And like Hermes' ability to come and go between worlds, Mercury helps you receive messages from your subconscious by connecting it to spells, mantras, and any form of channeling or communication. This light, fluid, social energy fuels networking and unemotional meetings of the minds. So the energetics here are ideas, inspiration, your mind, channeling, communication, experiences or thinking and learning, how you process information, networking, socializing, light, and unemotional connections. It says lift out of your emotional body and connect with the intelligence of your rational mind. Your emotional world is a verdant and beautiful landscape. It's your greatest teacher, but every so often, hover above it and elevate your perspective. In stillness, you're reminded feelings do not define you. Practice removing your emotional filter from critical thinking and problem solving. Hone your ability to see things as they truly are and think methodically. The clearer you get, the wiser your decision making, and the more open your mind for spiritual guidance, channeling, and psychic downloads. Yeah, so it just feels like rising above that belief that everyone's out to get you or to use you, because I feel like that's been something that's been running rampant. And understandably so, right? Like there's no like, how could that be the belief system? It's just that you've been taken advantage of so much. How can you believe in the good of people when it's not something that you've necessarily seen? But if that's the only way that you see life, then that's the only thing that will come to pass. And so it's just rising above those emotions and looking at it as it is. It's you closing out a really terrible chapter in your life. Okay, and especially with, we're about to go into Mercury retrograde. So with you getting Mercury, this Mercury retrograde could be about you really slowing down and honing in on asking for what it is that you really want, while taking time to become that version of yourself by honoring what perspective you have and what perspective is no longer serving you. It's just about the process, okay? So that's why I said, keep an open mind as we go into these, because Source is going to take it where Source wants to go. So this is what I see for you here today. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little head that's talking emoji down below and say, I choose to be radically honest with myself, knowing that I am here to connect with people who are like-minded and who see me as I am. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find everything you need in the description box. I'd like to take a moment to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message today. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.